Hello, boys. My name is Jaybur. Welcome back to Jayburs Footcast. We've been away since the last week of November, I think it was. And yeah, it's been a hectic couple of months in the footballing world. Who saw Argentina winning the World Cup? Certainly not me. But yeah,
me. It was expect for Messi to win it.
I mean, the fairy tale ending, right? Or rather, we thought because he's not retiring, is he?
I mean, to be honest, I didn't know England would win that World Cup if Harry Kane didn't miss it. But what do you expect from a Spurs player?
England would have won. England could have killed the game off, but the problem is Southgate is so reliant on Harry Kane. That's why he wouldn't have won. Rashford was best striker in the tournament.
What do you think? What do you expect? What do you expect from a Spurs player though? No trophies, finest 29, but still no trophies.
Higher than Chelsea in the table.
True.
Anyway, so this is being recorded and streamed at the same time. Twitch.tv/Jaybur if you want to watch future streams / recordings of this very podcast. So, how are we doing, lads?
I'm good. How was you boys' Christmas? Did Santa bring you anything nice?
Yeah, it was all right. But yeah.
Herpes.
Did you get a Brighton shirt last year, Jason, for Christmas?
I did.
Since you meant to be wearing one, and you
ended
keep
up wiping my backside with the actual badge. So, yeah. So we are an hour and a bit out from Palace v Man United. But first, we're going to review the big games from the weekend. Most notably, the North London derby. It was all a bit Spursy, wasn't it? It was like men against boys out there. Spurs were crap.
I never watched it because I was at the Chelsea v Crystal Palace game, and I don't need to talk about the result, but I'll let Jason's face do it all for me. I did see some of the highlights. I saw Ramsdale getting kicked in the back.
I thought it was Jay from the in-betweeners,
which I think was,
to be honest.
I did too, or I thought it was that guy from Narnia.
The lion.
Yeah.
I would say that was the oldest boy with the longish hair.
Yeah, I did think it was him. But I did see some of the highlights. I saw Lloris's own goal. Brilliant own goal, by the way.
Lloris. Oh, that was a mess, wasn't it? That was a huge mess. I don't know what he was doing there.
For me, it was inevitable because let's be honest, Arsenal are on form right now. We've only beat, and that was United. But unfortunately, the more games Arsenal win, I'm starting to think they're actually going to win the league.
We're nearly at the end of January now, and they're 8 points clear. I still think there's some more twists in the tails, to be honest. I genuinely think there is. Cause,
I hope so. I can't see it if Arsenal. I really want Man City. I'd rather see Man City or Man United win the league than Arsenal. I'm sorry.
Okay, well saved. Well saved at the end there, but how dare you say want Man City to win the league?
Out of the three teams, I'd rather do Man City or Man United win it. It will be painful.
Well,
I'd rather see it.
Go on. Can I just mention as well how Fulham A beat Fulham B team the other week as well. Which is just, I just wanted to throw that dig in. I'm so sorry. I just really had to.
I could take criticism, but if I was to talk about Chelsea, then we'd be here for a long, long time. So not
true.
You know.
Same with me.
We've got a quick question from Diamond in the chat. What are your thoughts on Virgil van Dijk's injury? Does that hinder
injured?
Liverpool, or does it,
I think for me, last season he didn't get injured at all, and then the season before he had that horrific injury in the Merseyside derby. It's a shame with Van Dijk because he is a top defender, and it's a real shame. But for me, it's not a shame because I'm not a Liverpool fan. So I think it's brilliant if someone like Van Dijk does get injured to a point because Liverpool haven't been that team they were last season or the season they won the Premier League. So for me, it thumbs up to the opposition teams. Obviously, for like Man United fans, Chelsea fans, Liverpool, Man United, obviously Man City, Arsenal. You get where I'm going with this. But for Liverpool fans, it is a shame. It is a shame for Van Dijk because I actually do like Van Dijk a lot. But not saying that he's old. I'm not saying he's old at all because I think he's about 30, 31.
He's around that.
I think around that sort of age.
All right, he's not old. He's nowhere near old, but obviously, injury. Is it going to be like another player that's injury prone? And do Liverpool really afford to keep losing him halfway through the season? I know the World Cup's coming, and I think the World Cup has sort of messed up a lot of teams, especially the top 6 teams or even teams all over the world. But it's obviously just a thing now. Is it going to be like every season with Van Dijk or every other season? And can Liverpool afford to keep? Like, can they replace him? Can they bring someone in as a backup?
Well, that's the question. Looking at the Premier League table, though, the top 4 is pretty tight. If Arsenal do slip up, because don't forget we've got the European games coming yet, and if Arsenal go far into these cup competitions as well, their depth is going to be questioned heavily. So you've got Arsenal on 47, but then you've got Man City on 39 and Newcastle and Man United on 38 points. That's going to be tight. If Arsenal start dropping points, there could be like a top 4 Royal Rumble for the title. I'm looking at the last 6. The last 6, the form guide. There are 3 teams that haven't lost in the last 6 games: Arsenal, Brentford, and Newcastle. Brentford could be dark horses. They're only 4 points off of 5th, Brentford. But above them are Fulham A and the Scum. So. And it's just mad because in 9th and 10th are Liverpool and Chelsea. Just above Palace.
Oh, no.
But
everyone's above Palace.
I want to have a look at the bottom of the table, really. It looks a bit tight down there as well. From 14th to 20th, it's separated by 2 points. And in the bottom 3, if you told me that towards the end of January, the bottom 3 would be West Ham, Everton, and Southampton. I'd tell you that I would believe Everton and Southampton, but not West Ham. And talking of West Ham, there's a lot of talk today, isn't there, about David Moyes? Is he going to get the sack? Is Rafa Benitez going to come in and eventually take them down like he usually does with teams? He'll come in and he'll leave them worse off. What do you boys think?
Well, hopefully he can go to Palace then.
Let's just be clear here, right? Palace aren't doing too well lately, are we? We have been smashed. We have been smashed twice since the restart. And I don't see us winning tonight against Man United, to be honest. But
I mean, I think you could actually put an upset. I think we're going to be too focused on, was it the Arsenal game, and sort of have a bit of a hangover from the City
Liverpool
game.
Should be out of the FA Cup, Diamond says.
Yes, they fucking should
lucky,
be.
They?
For 2 reasons. Yeah, for 2 reasons. Mo Salah's goal in the first game, offside, given. Wolves score. Apparently, the guy taking the corner was offside when the ball came back to him, but the VAR didn't have a good camera angle for it, so they couldn't tell.
VAR got the luxury of having like 18 cameras in the stadium. That's bollocks.
Apparently, they missed it. They couldn't find it.
Edit that out, but that's bollocks, right?
Why did you edit it out? That's perfect. Keep that in. It is bollocks, to be fair. Like literally, because when I was watching it, they were basically saying like there wasn't, like, from the commentators are saying there wasn't a camera angle, so they couldn't see where the player was. I'm like, with all the fucking money in this game,
the top 6 bias, and some of these decisions are preposterous. Like there were a few in the Chelsea Palace match. I think Palace should have got at least something from that match, but there were a few decisions that were really dodgy that were handed over to VAR.
I think the problem is the VAR. It could be such a good thing.
Yeah.
But the problem is, though, every other country that has VAR, it works perfectly fine. Every other national tournament is fine. Only place it's an issue is England. I don't even think it's... Bear in mind, right?
Yeah.
You have these referees for years who are incompetent at their job, and the reason for VAR is because referees couldn't do their job right. You're having the same referees who couldn't do their job right in charge of VAR. So the problem is the referees. I don't think it's exactly VAR. I think it's the referees in charge of VAR is the issue.
Their opinion at the end of the day, as much as what people say it is, right? It's, you know, the referees on the pitch, but his mates are up in the VAR thing going, "Oh, you've got that wrong, haven't you?" So then what they do is then they get involved and gone, I don't think that's right, mate, you know. And instead of going a few times going, "Oh no, I'll stick to my guns this time," it's like, "Oh well, he says it's wrong, I'll reverse the decision." It's meant to be there in the event of a clear mistake, but it's never used in the event of a clear mistake. It's used for, okay, they're supposed to look at everything that leads to a goal or a goal scoring opportunity, but we've seen so far in English football, it's been an absolute tragedy. It's just cocked it up so much, and it's just not good enough. It's not working in this country. I still think they need to bring in independent people from other countries, where they bring in Scottish referees, Irish referees, I don't know, referees from Mozambique or something. Just referees that have never been in the country. And I know that's not, you know, some people go, "Oh, well, they haven't played the English game." But you're getting people that have refereed in England making these decisions and cocking them up all the time. And I know it's a bit of a rant.
I mean, it's pretty much it's pretty much exactly what I said as well. It's the incompetent referees that we have here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not just saying all referees. I mean, there is some good referees, but it's the incompetency of those referees is why
and it goes to
VAR is failing in this country.
Some of these ex-referees that are now coming out saying it's like a, you know, it's very clicky amongst the referees in the Premier League and the ex-referees, that now, you know, some of these guys are on VAR. The whole hubbub of, "Oh, Mike Dean's retiring," and he was in tears at the end of his last match, out of him to piss off onto VAR and do the same shit every... I'm going to bleep there. Right? Do the same crap over and over again on VAR. It's just no point. They should have a manager and an ex-player doing VAR. That's what I think.
I don't think you can have an ex-player due to bias here. I think it has to be those higher up in, like, the FA who... Well, not the FA, but for example, like the refereeing association, whatever it's bloody called. But people in charge, or the main people in charge, like for example, someone had like
Man United would win every game.
Who's the old?
He's been signed by Man United.
And what's wrong with that?
You need Howard Webb.
No, but family member had his phone number. I tried to pass it to Ferguson. Ferguson was like,
"You were Paul Scholes.
Cheers, mate." Probably.
I agree.
Some of the higher ups, so like,
even the patron saint of the FA, Prince William, get him off his bloody arse out of his throne, right? Get him out of Kensington Palace. Go down to Stockley Park for a weekend and make him earn his money. You want it, you earn it.
Get Prince Harry over here to play for VAR.
Oh, no. Because then things are going to create another documentary on Netflix saying,
right.
GFA were racist to my girlfriend.
Be political about that. Free up Jeremy Clarkson.
Hey,
but
ginger like you.
Yeah, exactly.
You gingers should stick together.
I'm not gonna lie. Gingers for justice.
Gingers unite.
On Catherine Tate.
There you go.
Anyway, so hovering. I used to when it was funny.
Hovering
around the relegation places are, you know, Leeds, Leicester, Wolves, and Bournemouth. And this is why I say to people, right, when them, I'm going to say it, them dickheads from the South Coast, Southampton and Brighton, by the way, going, ha ha, Palace are going to go down. Let me tell you this, Palace, Leeds, and Leicester will not go down because there are teams worse than us in the Premier League. And I said it the last few seasons for Burnley, and I'm going to say it for Palace. I'm not biased at all, right? Palace will not go down because we have teams below us that are worse than us. And that's how Burnley missed the drop for a good few seasons. And I don't think the point is, oh, maybe we should sack Vieira. I think that's a stupid thing to do. I think the board need to put John Textor needs to get his grubby little American hands, put him in his pocket, right? Stop financing fucking Leon, right? And start, you know, being being even with the teams that he owns.
I tell you what,
they're doing the same thing.
The Glazer family
on a much larger scale. But if John Textor, right, owns Botafogo, Lyon, some Belgian team, and has a stake in Palace, right? And it appears he's taken some of the earnings from Palace, and he's like, there you go, Leon, you can have that. There you go, buy an extra baguette, mate. That's it. Right? So then they're getting the good fucking players. Sorry, I'm going to rant here. While Palace need a centre back, well, a substitute one, a right back, a bloody someone in the middle to help Doucouré, and someone that can score.
Actually, well, that means Palace will need a goalkeeper, a left back, a right back, a centre back, another centre back, a centre midfield, another centre midfield, a left wing, right wing, and a striker.
Send Jack Butland off to bloody Man United.
I don't know.
Honestly, the biggest waste of money I have ever heard of in my life.
I think it's so funny that Jack Butland has gone to like Man United because he was hyped up as one of the next best things for England, and he was hyped up and he done well at Stoke. And I don't know how
he was so did Charlie Adams. He went to Liverpool and done absolutely nothing.
I mean, the worst. I think the worst example of that is Ricky Lambert of Liverpool, wasn't it?
Oh, that was terrible. I don't know why that happened.
Well, Danny Ings.
Yeah, Danny Ings.
You're in for every flop. And you just got rid of Benteke.
I mean, anyway, I'm going to stop ranting now. So let's talk about the decline for Liverpool, right? Liverpool, it's been a tight one this season, hasn't it? Because you've got Jurgen Klopp now blaming everything but himself and the team. You know, he got a bit shirty with a reporter earlier on. I'm not sure if anyone else heard it. I was listening to TalkSport earlier. And they went, oh, are you in for anyone in the market in January? Bearing in mind they've already got Cody Gakpo, right? And he was like, why do I have to always say this? You know, I made him sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger there. But he got very shirty and basically said to him, I'll tell you when we're buying someone. Stop asking, right? And so what do you think could improve Liverpool? What is the problem that Liverpool have?
I think personally the problem is, and I'm not saying that the Liverpool squad is old, but I think age is a problem for Liverpool. I think I know they've got the experience. You've got your James Milners, who had a terrific career, but I don't know why Liverpool kept him on after last season. I don't know why.
Wow.
I think personally they should have sold Mo Salah.
I said that as well. I said that today at work.
They sold the
mistake
wrong
by
winger.
getting rid of Mane.
I said the exact same thing.
They should have sold Mo Salah and kept Mane and bought someone in to replace Mo Salah, because I don't know, with obviously Liverpool and the FSG, also Liverpool are up for sale as well. Don't forget, as much as Man United are, Liverpool are up for sale as well. They got put on sale right before the World Cup. And obviously the FSG, over the last few years, it did work when they were buying one player here, one player in that window, one player. And it was working because Klopp was building a team. But for me, Klopp has got a number of young players who are coming through the academy who are very good players. Like you got your Trent, you got your Harvey Elliott, you got a few other players that have come through the academy.
He's coming through the academy. Trent's already an established player, though.
The academy.
My bad, Nathan. My bad.
That have come through the academy, and I think he needs to buy, as much as you can always turn to your academy, which is an advantage, but Liverpool need to buy players that were in the World Cup, who had a good World Cup, players all over the world, because there are players out there that didn't go to the World Cup.
No. That's where you make a mistake. You buy a player who had a good World Cup. That's what's going to cost other teams doing. Look what's happened over the years. The amount of players that had a good World Cup.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Doesn't mean they're that good. I mean, think about James Rodriguez. Fantastic World Cup. Yeah, look at him. Where's he now?
He's in Greece, isn't he?
And bear in mind, he was hyped up, went to Madrid, done nothing, sat on the bench, week in, week out, went to Bayern, did nothing, got sent on loan here, got sent on loan there.
I think personally, I think obviously... Oh, I take that back. But they obviously need to look at players. They need to put their hands in their pockets. Whether the FSG will do that, unless Liverpool get bought by the end of the season and new owners come in. Obviously, it all depends. But I think Liverpool need to have a little bit of a clear out. I think they need a proper striker, Liverpool. They don't really have a proper striker.
He's been the Uruguayan Ferner so far, hasn't he? So
all right, Darwin Núñez.
I mean, he's a good player, because the thing is, though, what is terrifying about Núñez, he's in the position to score. He's just getting really bad luck. Just think if he can score.
Yeah.
Just think how much better Liverpool would be if he could actually get the ball in.
Yeah, of course. I was going to say, Núñez will be better next season, I feel, because he would have had a year in the Premier League. If you watch him, he gets in the right positions. He's either been offside, or he's scored and he's been offside, or he's just missed. So he's got into the right positions. The finishing's there. The talent is there. It's just there's something else. Obviously, maybe it's just maybe he didn't expect the Premier League to be as physical as it was. You just don't know what goes. You don't know what he was expecting. You don't know. Maybe it's the number of competitions that in Liverpool are in. But obviously, they got knocked out of the Carabao Cup, so we will have new winners. But it will take Liverpool time, but I think it is a massive revamp for Liverpool. I think they need to look at the players, look who's dead wood, look at players who are experienced and done well, but they need to go, and they need to get rid of a lot of players. Like, I think Naby Keita needs to go, because Naby Keita is dead wood to the club.
I mean, to be fair, it's quite funny though when you say you need to clear a lot of things. Look at Chelsea for one. I mean, you guys get good strikers and say you need a striker when you guys get so many good ones.
I don't even understand what Chelsea have done. Like, I don't understand why Chelsea went in for Mudryk. I don't know why we got
90
him.
million.
I don't know why Chelsea just got
panic buy. Chelsea as soon.
Of course, the rumours obviously come out as well that obviously Arsenal offered him 50 grand a week. Chelsea have gone his 100 grand a week. He's gone where the money's gone.
There was something,
and I'm not
saw earlier.
And as much as people have made.
His salary is lower than Gallagher and Hudson-Odoi's, apparently. Yeah, no. I think Chelsea are paying it like 100%.
Damn, Hudson-Odoi is even on loan.
No.
But by the way,
just coming back to Liverpool, what's that?
Yeah, I think so. But by the way, guys, just to give you some breaking news. The lineup for Manchester United today. So, in goal, number 1, David De Gea. Right back, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Centre back, Rafael Varane. Partnered with Losangelo World Cup winner, Butcher of Amsterdam, Martinez. He should be. Since Van Dijk's in it, he should be. Left back.
Whoa.
The
it's
person
not Harry
kicking
Maguire
out of the team when
it's
he's not
Harry
even
Maldini.
a centre back himself, Luke Shaw. And as I continue, centre defensive midfield, Casemiro parted with Christian Eriksen. In between them two, up in cam will be Bruno Fernandes. Right wing, Antony. Left wing, the man himself, the GOAT, Rashford. And up front,
the Dutch Benteke. So let me give you Palace's one. So in goes Papadom Hands himself, Guaita, Mr. I'm Papadom Hands, Mr. I'm gonna run out of my area every opportunity.
Papadoms.
Right back, Nathaniel Klein. Centre backs are Gurhey and Craig Richards. Chris Richards, sorry. Left back, Tyrick Mitchell. Yes, he's done what we've been fucking asking for the last 4 weeks. Doucouré and Hughes in midfield together. And then you've got Elise Zaha, Edouard and Mateta. So it looks like we might be playing little 4-2-2 action. So, but not AU's on the bench. Just make sure he fucking stays here. Just super glue him to the bench, please. Jesus Christ.
I bet he scores the winner, and you're going to be like eating your words. Like,
it's at Selhurst
obviously,
Park.
we can
always give Man United a good game anyway at Selhurst Park. But I think Man United could have too much for us. They've not underestimated us this time. They've got Casemiro out there. But do you not think...
No.
Sorry, go on.
No, they've got a really good manager who is not... They've got a manager like who knows what they're doing, and he's going to do so well for Man United.
There's only one bald goat manager in Manchester.
So, just...
Shut up.
Obviously, Guardiola's a better manager.
Hang on.
You're pissed off. Who won?
That, right, I've got something from the chat.
Yeah, but
bringing it back to Liverpool. Diamond is of the opinion that Liverpool should have Firmino covering Darwin Núñez, but now Firmino isn't even getting on the bench, which is a bit tragic, isn't it?
I think personally. I think Firmino needs to go. Honestly, I'm surprised Liverpool never sold him a couple of years ago because, I mean, he's had his time. He's done it good, and I feel like Firmino should have gone to the World Cup. I feel like Firmino
shouldn't. He can't score.
Yeah, but
he's a good attacking like centre. Sorry, he's a good centre forward. Sort of sits behind the striker like a cam. But other than that, he's not a striker. So there's no point in taking him when Brazil play with a striker.
I think Liverpool should have sold him a long time ago. I think him and Salah need to go in the summer. If you're a Liverpool fan, if you disagree with me, then please just say. But I think Firmino and Salah need to go.
I mean, to be fair though, where do they go from there then? They go with a broken forward line. I think it's broken at the moment since Mane's gone. But they're looking to try to replace Mane, which is a bit late. But look at Firmino though. How well he started the season when he came in.
Yeah,
but he's not as good. I mean, bear in mind, Liverpool, 2 Manchester United targets, both are flopping. Well, not flopping. Gakpo's not really played much, but
let's just put it this way:
Gakpo and Núñez, both Man United targets,
the Premier League is savage, absolutely savage, right?
That's what
so they need time to integrate in the Premier League, right? So
we can,
let's give them a season or two because we did that with Werner, and fair enough, Werner weren't that good, but they've also got Luis Diaz as well, Fabio Carvalho.
Yeah,
give them all time and they'll be great. I think.
Yeah, who I actually.
No, he hasn't. He's always been picking.
Quite unlucky this season. I don't think he's been given the game time I feel like he does deserve.
Yeah.
I think Carvalho is a really good player, and I think Portugal do have a bright future with him in that squad. But it's up to obviously Portugal manager who has to call him up. But talk about that. But like you were saying about Núñez, another player that will come good is Antony. I think Antony will come. He'll come. So it's just a matter of time before certain players like Núñez and Antony start hitting the ground.
Well, to be fair, I just want Antony to.
I can hear feedback from your phone.
What was that noise? Did anyone hear that?
Yeah.
But one other player I hope does well is Mudryk.
Oh, hold on.
Hopefully he gets in above, the last place as well.
But I do, obviously with Mudryk, it will just... Oh, bloody hell, Chris, sort it out.
Not me.
That's not me.
It's not me.
Hold on. Yeah, I was on mute there, so that weren't me.
But I do, obviously, with Mudryk and stuff, I think it is just a bit of a panic buy, personally myself. And I think Chelsea have just... I'm not saying... I didn't know he is a winger, and we do need a winger because I don't think Ziyech is good enough. I don't think Pulisic is good enough. And I think them two need to go, but Mudryk is just a panic buy, and it's gone, we'll take him off Arsenal because let's get the attention. Chelsea
Do you know what's going to be funny, though, right? When Chelsea get hit by financial fair play again, how much are they going to pay to get themselves out of it again? Because bear in mind, right, Chelsea spent basically 400 million this season alone, and you've only let go of players worth 51 million.
Yeah, no, I do. But
So
I've heard a rumour as well. I've also heard a rumour as well that he signed a contract apparently because where he signed players under 21, it doesn't break the rules.
So wait, you spend 400 million on under 21s and you can get away with it?
That's what I've heard the rules were. Like, he hasn't broken financial fair play.
So they're basically breaking the rules again and getting away with it again.
I don't know. I don't get why. I get why we needed a centre back where we brought that Benoit player, who I thought played very well against Palace on Sunday. But yeah, definitely. I think I think even in a weird way, I love Havertz to bits, but I think even Havertz needs to go.
Havertz just behind a striker.
More like Mason Mount needs to go.
But Mason Mount's going to go nowhere.
Like he was on Sunday.
Yeah, because
I think he was a bit. Yeah.
That's what I mean. I don't get it why Chelsea signed that David Fofana bloke, but they don't play him.
Fofana.
You played this was
take Kante's role, but I know Kante's getting a new contract.
Who?
Is he? Oh.
Do you know what the problem?
That's Bash.
The problem is with Chelsea.
Fofana's a striker.
I thought it was a centre back.
No, Fofana is a striker.
Oh yeah. But do you know what Chelsea's problem is though? They don't play to players' strengths. They never have. I mean,
the thing is, go on, Karen.
Yeah, the only time he played to players' strengths was years ago, and that was literally park the bus, break on the counter when you had good players who could do that.
The thing
nowadays,
is, I do think Chelsea is still a little bit of a mess, as myself, and it's just a shame that the club's gone the way it has. But it will get there. Like, I reckon next season will be better.
I mean, your mistake was you did what Manchester United did. We signed Alexis Sanchez when he caused no end of issues, especially with the wages he was on. You signed Aubameyang, who Arsenal let go of because of his attitude and the way he was. Why on earth did you sign a striker who Barcelona signed the January before, being like, you know what, it was a good signing, let's sign Aubameyang?
Yeah, I don't know why Chelsea went for him. At the end of the day, at the start, I was a little bit excited, but it's not really worked out the way I see it has. But for me, obviously, Christopher Nkunku's come in the summer. That's all been agreed. As much as I'm excited, do I also have a bit sceptical? Because the last time we signed a player from Leipzig, it didn't work out. Let's be real.
Because Chelsea don't play to his strengths.
I didn't know Chelsea will have to play to his strengths because he's a striker. So we've wanted.
Look how many strikers you've had in the past who have all been good strikers, but they can't do it for Chelsea because Chelsea are like, oh, we want you to sit back and play the way we want you to play, which is completely against what they're like. Because bear in mind, it's like saying Messi, for example, to do a role for Chelsea. He wouldn't do it because that's not to his strengths. That's Chelsea. That's the reason why Chelsea haven't been successful since Drogba. Well, not successful. They haven't had a good striker since Drogba.
Well, Diego Costa, he was a good striker.
But was he at the level of Drogba?
No, but he was still a good striker at the time he was there. He still scored goals.
He still scored goals, but he wasn't at the level of Drogba.
Of course not. He didn't really get given enough time at Chelsea. Conte got rid of him after the second season in charge. He dumped him by text. That's Conte's problem. But I just think like Chelsea have signed this Fofana striker. Obviously, he's compared to the next Didier Drogba in the Norwegian league in mould. But will he come good? I don't know. Time will tell.
Do Chelsea just do that with every sort of player? Like,
oh yeah, like when the
striker, they're like, oh, you're the next Drogba. Like Lukaku.
Oh yeah, when we signed Lukaku the first time, he was the next Didier Drogba in the Belgian league.
And you got him back off loan, and then it was like you got him back off loan for the first few times. Like, oh, he's going to be the next Drogba. That season they played him, it was god awful.
I just don't.
And then you sell him.
I just don't get it. I really don't get it. I fear for players like Fofana and Kunku, because will we play to their strengths? Probably not, and we're just going to go, oh, they're crap, they're not a good player. When they are a good player, it's just not worked out.
He's ex-Brighton.
You can't blame him. I actually feel sorry for him, because he took over a team who he left Brighton A for Brighton B, as people always say it.
No. We don't say that. We say Fulham A versus Fulham B, because Fulham B play in Fulham.
Yeah.
Brighton don't play at Crystal Palace.
No, yeah, true. But obviously, he left a Brighton team who was in very good form, and he's joined a Chelsea team with, in a weird way, the players that he took over. Obviously, he joined the club after the transfer window. They're not his players. He probably has a plan to get rid of some of the players, and obviously the players that he's brought in, like Fofana, Benoit, Mudryk, he would have got a say in them players, because let's be real, he would have got a say. Benoit Badashire.
No, I said Badashiru. That's his name.
Did you say Badashire? No, Nathan said
Badashiru. That's how it's pronounced.
Badashire, or whatever you say. I don't even know how you pronounce it. He's all I know is Badashire. He's a French centre back who did very well, but it's just
Benoit Badashire.
I didn't know there was rumours coming. There was.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There was obviously rumours that he spoke to Mudryk before he joined Chelsea and said, I've got a project. And then Graham Potter's going nowhere. He will be there, because it ain't his fault. It's not his fault this team is the way it is, because he's not brought in players himself. And as much as say, he has had this window.
Cucurella.
He didn't bring in Cucurella. Tuchel brought in Cucurella.
No, he did. Oh, wait. Yeah, he did. Ignore me. Wait.
We tried to, but you're still here. Yes,
you got me in the summer. Ignore me. Sorry, carry on.
But it's just, at the end of the day, this window, he's had a say in some players, because he would have brought in some of them players. He would have got a say. And obviously in the summer, there's more players that he's going to probably bring in.
So you just went back on what you say. You say he didn't bring anyone in, and then now you're saying he did bring
No, but when he joined the club, those players weren't his players, besides Cucurella, who played with him at Brighton. So he wouldn't have known the players, and that's not his team. Like, he would have gone in with a plan saying, I will see who he would have said. I want this person out, this person out. I don't want this player here. I don't know what he said. I don't know what his plans are, but he will come with a plan.
If I was Graham Potter, I would get a new midfielder, because Mount is very overrated.
Jorginho, I feel like Jorginho needs to go. Personally, now I think
Jorginho. I said Mount.
I'm just gonna not argue with you about that.
No, I'm just thinking, because for example, Mount might be a decent player, but because he came through your youth, a lot of fans, like every single football fan in the world, has bias for players that come through their youth. Like Manchester United with Scott McTominay, I think he's absolutely dreadful. A lot of fans love him.
I think McTominay was good under OGS. I feel like
he was dreadful.
He had a good season when he first came.
No, he didn't. He had 5 games. That was good.
It's just not worked out, and Ten Hag doesn't want him. And then you say
shite. It's like Mount.
He's not shite. He's just not worked out. Because I can sit there and say Donny van de Beek is a crap footballer.
He's now got that.
But he's not a crap footballer. He's just crap for us.
To the end of the season.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but it's just I just don't know. Like, Chelsea do need to get rid of certain players. I do think they do. I think they need to keep by like someone like Enzo Fernandes. I think Chelsea should go out for him
and replace Mount with Enzo Fernandes. Yeah,
I think Chelsea should get rid of. I think Chelsea should get rid of Kante. Chelsea should get rid of Kante.
Your best defensive midfielder, who's only in his early 30s.
Who's injury prone, by the way, let's not forget.
And so is a lot of the top players. I'd rather have a
but you're paying someone so much money who ain't there.
You're paying Aubameyang more than him.
Oh yeah, Aubameyang should
go. Aubameyang's not even injured. He came on the other week and got subbed off again because he was crap.
Oh yeah, I agree. I'm not.
And then all the other. And bear in mind, you're still paying a lot of Lukaku's wage.
I know.
Because you guys didn't want him because he couldn't score for you guys. Because again, Chelsea don't play to certain striker strengths.
Oh yeah. I feel sorry for Lukaku because at the start it worked out perfectly.
At the start,
when
he did that interview and saying where he wanted to go back to Italy.
Oh yeah, but at the start, when he first joined, he scored in his debut against Arsenal. He scored a couple of goals against Villa. He was scoring goals for fun. Then we stopped playing around him.
So Nathan, right?
Chelsea need to have a massive clear out still.
3 minutes or less, right?
They need to make.
Would you take Leandro Trossard at Chelsea? Why? Why?
Yes.
That wasn't 3 minutes.
Because I think he would thrive. As much as he didn't have a great World Cup with Belgium, because he did mainly come on as a sub. I think he is a good player, but I think his attitude has been disgusting from what I've heard at Brighton. I think that's wrong. And I think he has no right, because I don't think no player is bigger than the club. You're playing for the badge, you play for yourself, and you play for them fans that pay your wages. And I think he will come good at Chelsea, but he's 27, 28. He's valued at 25 million, which ain't a bad price. And I think he will thrive at Chelsea because he can play right wing back as well, as much as the left wing, which is good.
Here's a problem, right, with Chelsea. Their recruitment is terrible, because you want Enzo Fernandez, but have Chelsea really been studying him, or did they just be like, oh, he had a good World Cup, we're going to sign him?
Oh, yeah, no, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I don't get. Like, he had a good World Cup. He won the World Cup with Argentina. Let's buy him. But at the end of the day, we do need a centre midfielder, and I think he could be the answer, because I don't think Jorginho has maybe lost it. Kovacic is getting on a little bit, but I also think we should turn to our academy because we've got such a brilliant centre mid. We've got Charlie Webster coming up in the academy. I think we've got so many players that are coming. Like Lewis Hall has done so well as a left wing back for Chelsea when he's actually a centre mid.
Can I move on from Chelsea?
Fair.
Go on then. Thank you. Well, we'll just keep talking.
Chris. But can I go to the toilet first? I'm going to the toilet first.
Sunday. So, it was the Manchester derby on Sunday, right?
Yo.
And the main talking point is Marcus Rashford and the end of Fernandes and the Bruno Fernandes goal. Is that offside? Is that offside?
He was miles inside. He was clearly in line with the defender. Clearly onside.
Right.
It was the defender's fault. It was Kyle Walker and whoever it was fault because they weren't in line with Rashford.
Yeah.
So they're behind him. It's their fault. No, I'm joking. It was clearly offside. Offside. I mean, he was literally running towards the ball, then stopped as Bruno's about to hit it. It's offside. But to be fair, because against Man City, excuse my French, I don't give a fuck. It stops City from trying to win the league. It puts a huge dent in their chances. So I think I can speak for every other football fan out there.
About a lot of debate.
Who gives a fuck?
And, there's a lot of ex-referees that are saying, mate, what the fuck is that? Sorry, I forgot to turn the sound. Stop. Right, that's going to be... Stop laughing. There's a lot of ex-referees weighing on it. Rashford didn't interfere with play. He didn't touch the ball. He didn't do this, didn't do that. In my eyes, he interfered with play because he ended up running in front of a Man City defender, and it obscured the keeper's vision slightly, didn't it? Because you seeing Fernandes and Rashford going like that, you're not going to know who's going to hit that ball.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, it's like if Edison couldn't tell Bruno was going to hit it, Edison needs his eyes checked out.
Yeah, I do agree with that because as much as he didn't touch the ball, because he didn't touch the ball, and you couldn't take away the goal from Fernandes because that was a brilliant goal. But the rules change all the time. Like, he didn't touch the ball, so he's not interfering, but he's interfering because he's in the way. You just don't know what to believe no more because the rules seem to change every 5 minutes. So, at the end of the day, if Rashford did that in the World Cup, or Rashford did that 2 years ago when VAR was there, when VAR is obviously there, Rashford would have been classed as offside 2 seasons ago because he would have been, So, he didn't touch the ball. Yeah, he did interfere, but that's the way it is. He didn't touch the ball, so it's a no-win situation here because he interfered, but he didn't touch the ball. But 2 years ago, that would have been counted as no goal because he interfered, and so it's a no-win situation here because everyone's going to go, well, this shouldn't have counted, but that should have counted. But 2 years ago, it's going to be lots of ups and downs about it.
Podcast.
The GOAT.
Give me your 3 teams to go down this season. I will kick you.
Crystal
Nathan,
Palace, Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Southampton.
There's Leeds, Leicester, Wolves, Bournemouth, West Ham,
who else is fighting that relegation?
Your second team, because your favourite ever player.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it will be. I'm gonna say Southampton. I'm actually gonna say Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think they'll go down, but it will go down. And I'm actually gonna say probably West Ham.
Is that because Lampard's at
the last 2 spots between Nottingham Forest and West Ham? And
bias prick.
I'm gonna say the last day.
Exactly, biased. Literally, Nathan, I would have agreed with you if you had the ball to say your lover boy Frank Lampard would go down because he is. I'm sorry to say this. You say about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer all the time, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer won a league for a different team. Different league, yes. Different country, yes. But he still won a league. Lampard couldn't win the championship playoff.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree. And I personally think if Everton did go down or he got sacked, I feel like in a way Lampard's career would be finished. The only way he could salvage it is if he went to the championship, got a team promoted.
He had that chance. He took over a Derby team who, in the season before, finishing in that same position, lost the playoffs. He took them from where they were to the exact same place.
Let's be fair. Chelsea, he did have the transfer embargo as well, which is how Mount.
Then when he left, he was back here.
Oh yeah,
But then when he had the transfers in, but bear in mind, since he had the chance to do transfers, that's when he brought in who he wants. I want this.
Oh yeah,
got them all in, and didn't know how to play them. Didn't know what to do because he can't manage.
I agree. He brought in. He had the transfer ban, which I think he did terrific because he finished 4th, got to the FA Cup final in his first season at a job like Chelsea.
And lost.
He lost the FA Cup final, but we beat you. And what did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer do at Man United? Got to Europa League finals, got to semi-finals, but couldn't win it. But there we go.
Sorry, what is Lampard won as manager?
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying.
What is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer won as a manager?
Yeah, you're saying that, but what Lampard achieved in his first season with Chelsea is better than what Ole Gunnar OGS achieved at Man United overall.
Are you for real?
I'm being serious because let's be
Europa
real.
League final.
Let's be honest, right?
Second.
What would Solskjaer have done in that transfer ban? He wouldn't have known what to do.
All right, I get that, but you said 4th place is a big achievement, right?
It is for someone who took a team over with a transfer ban.
Mm-hmm. But then after that, where did he finish?
Obviously we spent.
Where did he finish?
We finished 9th under him, But we got fourth under a better manager. Yes, he was a better manager.
No.
Thomas Tuchel. Thomas Tuchel's a better manager.
Oh, right. I thought you meant Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Sorry, yeah. Thomas Tuchel, yeah.
Yeah, Thomas Tuchel's a better manager.
The problem is, though, I get what you're saying with Frank Lampard, but he is not as good as a manager as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was. Because bear in mind, Solskjaer was terrible. Here's Solskjaer. Here's Lampard.
I wouldn't sit there and say Solskjaer was terrible. It was
terrible. Bear in mind, his team.
It wasn't terrible. It just didn't work out because he brought in players like Maguire, like Wan-Bissaka, Sancho, Ronaldo. All them players sound amazing on paper, but when it went to the pitch, it just didn't work out.
Who Ten Hag has revitalised a lot of those players.
Yeah, of course. I'm not sitting there saying that. Like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will go down as a Manchester United legend for what he's done because he was a terrific player.
Yeah.
And when he did take over the job from Mourinho, he had a good start. He did well.
Okay, you're saying about how Lampard brought Mount up to Chelsea, right?
Yeah, he brought Reece James.
I could name you one player Solskjaer brought up in his time as a manager, and you'll be like, "You'll shut up."
Go for it.
Erling Haaland.
Oh yeah, of course. But what happened? He didn't join you.
You realise he was a manager who got him his break, like brought him into the first team.
Oh no, I agree. Yeah, I do know that.
Yeah, he didn't join us, but that's because Ollie and the board were about as useful as a hole in the head.
Yeah. At the end of the day, the Glazer family are toxic. They were toxic to Manchester United and they're toxic to football.
What do you mean were? They still are.
Oh, yeah, of course. But at the end of the day, if Lampard did get Everton relegated, he needs to either A, step down or be sacked because I feel like
They should sack him now. He's dreadful.
Oh,
to save themselves from going down, they need to sack him now.
Oh, yeah, I do agree that he needs to either go, he needs to save his career by leaving and just take a break from management and become a pundit because he was a brilliant pundit for the Euros. He was a better pundit.
You know what they say? Those who can't manage, pundit.
Oh, well, no, I do agree. I think he was a great pundit and he does know, he has got a football brain. He's a brilliant player, Lampard.
I mean, it's all well and good, but now I think relegation is going to be Forest, Southampton, Everton. As much as you don't want to say it, Nathan, but I feel like if Everton don't sack Lampard, they will go down.
I personally think Lampard... I don't think Lampard made a mistake by joining Derby, but I think he made a mistake.
Derby?
He did join Derby. He took over at Derby. That was his first job.
Why are you saying he made a mistake?
Like, no, he could have... when he got sacked by Chelsea, he should have probably gone into managing Chelsea's academy or gone to an under-21s job. I feel like Lampard could have done that and really brought his career back up.
You don't get sacked from a job. For example, it's like in your current job, like your day-to-day job. You get sacked from the role you're in now and telling you to go down the levels.
Not Chelsea's level, but he could have got an under-21s job somewhere. Just maybe rebuild it back up.
But again, it's like saying that about, for example, Patrick Vieira. Could you imagine Vieira getting sacked by Palace and him going, you know what, I'm going to go to under-21s instead? That's a huge downgrade.
He could have gone to Arsenal under-21s. He could have rebuilt it back up.
That's still a downgrade.
But at the end of the day, Vieira's done a good job at Palace, so he has the potential to become a top manager at Arsenal one day, because I feel like he will be. But obviously, with the way Arteta is, it doesn't look like
he's like, excuse you, he's a Palace manager.
Oh no, but let's be real here. Let's just all be real here. You're saying about Vieira. Let's think about it logically, right? The reason he's gone to Palace is so he can get Premier League experience, and then Arteta is doing a terrific job this season, so Arteta won't be gone this season no matter what happens, even if Arsenal do win the league. But in 3-4 years' time, if Vieira keeps building his rep up and Arteta sort of does go down, I'm saying
G with
it only takes one phone call.
Vieira,
Arsenal legend.
You know, it's Well, it wasn't all good at DC United because Christian Benteke,
I think Wayne Rooney has done a terrific job at DC United, and I felt he was unlucky at Derby. But he's someone who will come up eventually in time, and I think he will eventually take the Everton job.
First.
In all honesty, I see Wayne Rooney being a Manchester United manager one day, but it's going to be years away from that.
Everton,
nowhere near,
and Wolves. I think West Ham, Leeds, and Leicester are going to have too much. They're going to stay up. I think they're going to have too much to go down. Same as Palace. I think on the last day it might be a 3 or 4 way scramble for the last spot. Out of Forest, Leeds, Bournemouth, and Wolves. And unfortunately, Wolves haven't been good this season, have they? Really, they've sacked their manager. They've actually, it's just been announced that they've signed Paulo Sarabia from PSG. But I don't see. So, I don't know. It's probably out of them or Bournemouth, I think, going down. Either one of them. Anyway, that's the end of the podcast this week. If you enjoyed that, please give this video a like, subscribe.
Yeah.
And, we'll see you in the next one.